So we have 43 minutes and 15 seconds today. I kind of like these numbers. It helps kind of keep things together. So how are you guys doing? I'm happy to report that I am still feeling good. I'm on the other side of the shadow, but however, I am feeling this kind of like unstable, unsure energy, and I was just wondering if you guys were feeling that too. So I was looking for some answers for myself, and this deck and the spirit medicine, the whale, came to me, and I was like, okay. And the whale's been coming to me a lot. In fact, so much so that Alder had a job in Port Angeles, I don't know, in the last week or so. And when he was either before or after the job, he went to this one place that he always wanted to go. And as he was sitting there, he just happened to look out in the water, and a huge orca jumped out of the water right in front of him. And he was like, nobody else saw it. He's like, that was just for me. I'm like, dude, that's like a rare blessing. So I feel like we both are being called in a lot of ways. So it wasn't surprising to me that the whale called out to us today. I asked Spirit what the theme of this, if there was going to be a theme at all. And, you know, I like to do my shuffle on Pandora. You see my little shorts where the messages, they're so good. I made 2 today. They were so good. Anyway, I've been making a lot of stuff. I can't wait to share more stuff with you guys. But anyway, I digress. So I said, what's our theme? And it was, I don't even know. All I saw was whale. And that was it. And I was like, I knew it because I felt an animal. And then I felt a deck. So let's dive into the Mind Body Makeover in real time. Today is May 10th, 2024, which is a 13-day because, wait, is it a 13-day? No, maybe not. Wait, 5? No, it's not. I think I was still in April in my head. So today is May 5th. So May is 5, 10th, that's a 1. So that's 6. And then 8 for 2024, 14. So that's change, 5, change and transformation. It also means we're halfway there, or maybe for at least one person, you needed to hear Spirit say, you're halfway there. Like, don't give up. You're halfway there. Yeah, I haven't been tethered to the moon cycles, so that's interesting. So that might have just been something for us to learn or to, you know, incorporate into our everyday practice, our teachings, things like that. Because actually Alder, he's been coming up a lot because we've been, you know, really trying to renegotiate, because there's been some things that we've been having a lot of aha moments since we've been back in the RV, and trying to decide like who we are now, what we want. Oh my gosh, did you see how this one just kind of pushed it? There's 2, they kind of pushed themselves up. And some just threw themselves off. They're like, oh, like jump shift. That was awesome. But yeah, there's just a lot of change and transformation for myself. So I'm assuming you guys are probably going through the same thing if you found yourself here today. So, ooh, this one is different than the others. So I'm also going to pull this one. I think we did a picker reading for these at some point. I don't know if we're just going to keep doing readings like this or picker readings or what's going to happen. But anyway, what I was starting to talk about with Alder and I was that I said, you know, for several new moons, we haven't really had anything where we came together, you know, and spoke about what we wanted to accomplish, like as a couple, as a partnership. And so tomorrow we're having a really special day together. I'm excited. And I feel like there's going to be a lot of things that will be revealed tomorrow. So wish us good fortune on that. And yeah, so thank you so much, you guys, for everything. Thank you for your support. Also, I must say, before we dive into these cards, I have to say thank you to the subscribers. We have 777 subscribers. My life path number is 7. So thank you very much. I am humbled. You know, as you guys know, my videos are very grassroots, I guess you would say. I mean, they're not fancy. I don't have any fancy software. I just fucking turn it on and I start talking. That's it. You know, sometimes I watch these readings and they're all special effects or whatever, and I'm like, I do my best to make it look appealing or to, you know, whatever. But the truth of the matter is, you know, there's just so much going on in the world, and I don't have the energy or the software or the technology at this point. Maybe eventually I will. I don't know. I don't have fancy cameras. I've had this phone for quite some time. So anyway, but the message is there, right? And that's all that really matters at the end of the day. So thank you so much. I don't pay for any subscribers. I don't pay to advertise. I don't do any of that. And that's just the way, you know, as one of my medicine teachers used to say to me, I walk the old way. Meaning that whatever comes to me, whatever contributions, whatever support, whatever means of anything that comes to me, I know is divine, and I know is meant to be that way. So, yeah, so there's that. So thank you so much. I was like 777. When I looked down, I was 613. Ooh, it wasn't 613, but that's what I saw, which is also the number 10, completion. But 613 is our angel number. 613 is our angel number. And for those of you who are new here, if it aligns with you, look it up. If not, no worries. You can write it down now and look it up later. You can pause this and go look it up. A lot of times when Spirit calls out or draws my attention to that, because it was actually not 613, but that's what I saw. It usually aligns with the message or what we're talking about. So do we have any more, Spirit? Oh, this one kind of went to the side. Do we have any more? I felt like there's at least a few more in here. This is a bigger deck, so I'm going to kind of cut it in half. Are there any in this side of the deck? Okay. On this side? Okay. These do have like kind of like up and down. Ooh, this one's flipped up, so I'm going to say that one. And that one came out really quickly. So interesting. I feel like this one's down and the rest of these are up. And since this is like this, I feel like we're going to save this for later. Or maybe this will be like the grand dame of the messages. And when it's time for the whale, I'm sure they will draw our attention to it. And now all I see is 7. So I'll have to keep my eye on it because the way that my numbers are in the reflection, I can't really see. So also hydration, very, very important. Drink water. Clean water is your best friend right now. Staying away from the junk food, staying away from the triggers. You know, triggers are good if you need to. Here's the thing. We all need to, you know, learn. We all need to grow, evolve, be aware, all that good stuff. But at the same time, if you're trying to work through something and you're constantly being triggered, this is why they stress that our inside, outside, like all these things are really important for our peace and for our gratitude and our solitude to heal. Because, you know, triggers are there for teachers, but they are not there to constantly keep us from our purpose. You know, it's one thing if you're like, you know, there's this guy. Okay, so where we're living right now, perfect example. We're kind of in between two roads. We're between the main road and we're on the corner. It's a big farm. It's 5 acres. And then there's a road that goes behind us. So anybody who's coming from the road behind us and going to the main road, you know, we can hear them. So there's this guy almost every single day, sometimes a few times a day. And it's like, oh my gosh. And this like massive over the top crazy fucking pickup truck, high wheels, whatever, in his glory, right? In his glory days, I'm sure. But it is like one of those things that, I mean, it's driving me crazy. But also, I kind of laugh sometimes when I hear it because I remember being that way. You know, I never was that person that was like, you know, I like my loud music, but I've never, as an empath, like that kind of, you know, so it's one thing to hear it once or twice a day. It's another as if it was going constantly. I would lose my fucking marbles. I would lose my marbles. I lived in an apartment one time where my neighbor upstairs was an opera singer. At first, I thought it was really cool, especially on nights where I was home alone and I was like drinking and whatever, and I'd just listen to them, and I was like, "This fucking beautiful, man." I just feel like crying, like listen to them, just listen to the opera. It was just beautiful, you know. But after a while, I was like, "Dude, shut the fuck up, man." I'm like, "It's 2 a.m, and we went from being like kind of like cozy and friendly to like, man, any of you who've ever had close gay friends. or neighbors. In this case, it was like, when Nick turned sour, oh no, sour grapes is an understatement of how deep that can go. So that ended up being a really horrible experience. You know, I had to get out of that building. I had to get out of that apartment. So, but I learned something. You know, we always learn things. So I'm hearing from Spirit that it's really important for us to find the place that makes us happy. And today, Alder and I both had this moment where I'll be sharing more as it goes along, because I feel like this is something that's like really unraveling. And it's like, if you've ever seen The Labyrinth, there's like the scene where they're like, say it. Like the little creatures are trying to get her to say, I wish you were, or whatever the line that she's saying to make the baby, you know, go away. And they're like, say it. That's exactly what I feel like. I feel like right now, I feel like Spirit's like you're so close. Yes. Put it out into the universe. Like, you got this. And it was just a really cool moment. And I felt this connection with Alder too. Like, I can tell we both kind of, it was kind of kinetic, where I was like, interesting. I'm like, we're on the precipice of something really magical. So if you're on the precipice of something magical as well, then I'm excited for you. So cute. Oh my gosh. I just heard one of our spirit guides go, whale first. I'm like, okay. They are very, very excited to talk to the whale. And who wouldn't be? I mean, the whale spirit medicine is always just so good. Look at all the sparkles that wanted to come in today. So I'm feeling a lot of fairy energy. I will say this place we're staying is very interesting. It's definitely got its moments. It's got its moments and it's got its perks. Okay, so I'm going to keep this one down here so I don't forget that it's separate. Okay, and I would like to also add that any bookmark could have gone in there, but this one wanted to come in, and I don't know if you guys can see. So it's about coloring and gel pens. This has come in before. Let me see if there's any other hidden messages on here. So it says Doodle Fun, 36 gel pens, if that means anything, 10 postcards, gel pen and postcard set, fun writing, coloring, and more. Doodle Fun, and then it's got a picture of the Eiffel Tower, so France or something about Paris. It looks like a fox, a horse, and 2 swans with a heart. So if that means anything to you guys, I don't know. I know I'm not the light expert. There we go. That's better, right? How do I do this to make it work for you? Maybe you're not supposed to. Maybe that's all there is. Maybe that's all there is to it. Maybe that's all that's supposed to be done or said. Anyway, but that specifically wanted to come in. Wow, all of a sudden I'm feeling super dehydrated. So you guys, drink water. When I drink water, drink water. If you have to pause it, if you have to stop it, I'm serious. They're getting really serious about it. Because there's a lot of things happening, and when our bodies are hydrated, it's a lot easier for us to have clarity when we're grounded and hydrated, for real. Seriously. Okay, so I'm going to have to probably move the light over here. And as you guys know, if you don't know, I'll show you, but they always have like a little poem that comes with it from Grandma Twyla. So let's bring this over here. Number 41, Whale, the Record Keeper. Ooh, look at this light, man. What's going on there? Woo, woo. Hi, Spirit. Hi, you guys. Ooh, ha, ha, ha. Okay, whale of mighty oceans, you have seen it all. Secrets of the ages are heard within your call. Teach me how to hear your words and how to understand the very roots of history of when our world began. Oh, shit. It says, whale is very much like a swimming library. Whale carries the history of Mother Earth and is said to have been placed here by the ancients from the dog star Sirius. Oh, so for any of you who are from Sirius right now, are you feeling a little homesick from your whale family? Biologists say that whale is a mammal and very possibly lived on land millions of years ago. In tribal legend, whales move into the ocean happened when the earth shifted and Lemuria, the motherland, went below the waves. That's interesting, you guys, because when that quartz wanted to come in today, it made me think of my Lemurian crystals. So for my Lemurians out there, and if you don't know what a Lemurian is, research it, and it's spelled Lemura is Lemuria, and then Lemurians. Okay, so whales move into the ocean happened when the earth shifted and Lemuria, the motherland, went below the waves. All of our petroglyphs speak of the motherland, Mu, M-U, and the disaster that brought the red race to, and which is the Native American people, to North America from the west beyond the great waters. The symbols and the petroglyphs speak of the rivers and mountains crossed by our ancestors when they sought solid ground as the water receded. Also, Spirit wanted, excuse me, I'm being stand corrected. They said the red race is indigenous people, is what they were trying to say. I apologize, Spirit. Whales saw the events that led to the settling of Turtle Island, which is what they also call North America, and has kept the records and knowledge of the motherland alive. It is said that Mu will rise again when the fire comes from the sky and lands in another ocean on Mother Earth. Okay, you know what's really tripping me out about this right now? Okay, you know what's really tripping me out about this right now? Is they're talking about these solar flares, and Alder's been obsessed with these solar flares for a really long time. And yeah, there's a lot of interesting things that are happening right now. So that's so interesting that they're talking about the fire in the sky. So I would be remiss if I didn't bring that up because it's been coming up. Also, if you remember in the last video, I spoke of that one song, Why Does the Blood, da, 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 da. And then she's like, don't they know it's the end of the world? Dude, it came up again. It's been coming up. Now, mind you, somebody would say, oh, Big Brother is listening to my phone and blah, 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 blah. But, you know, I could say nothing at all and just talk to Spirit, and they will talk to me through my Pandora, you know. And again, people could say, oh, we're robots, we're online, blah, blah, blah. Sure, maybe we are. Maybe, you know, we are going to find out that this is all like, what is that crazy show with Ed Harris and, you know, oh gosh, what is that show? Anyway, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't know. But I do know this. I do know that there's a reason why that keeps coming up, and I feel like Spirit's been trying to tell me something. So, do I think it's the end of the world, like the end of Earth? No. Do I think it's the end of something massive that has been going on the planet? Absolutely. And I think there's a lot of major things shifting. So, with that being said, let's get back to this. Whales saw the events that led to the settling of Turtle Island, which is North America, and has kept the records and knowledge of the motherland alive. It is said that Mu will rise again when the fire comes from the sky and lands in another ocean on Mother Earth. The native medicine people are waiting for this event as the next sign of Earth changes. Earth children will have to unite and honor all ways and all races in order to survive. Whale medicine people are coded in their DNA to understand that sound frequencies can bring up records and the memories of ancient knowledge. They are usually clairaudient or able to hear both very low and very high frequencies. They are usually also physically developed and fairly telepathic. Many times, however, they are not awakened to their gifts until it is time to use the stored records. Many whale medicine people are able to tap into the universal mind of Great Spirit and have no idea how or why they know what they know. Only later, when they receive confirmation, do they begin to understand how they know or why they receive the impressions. Dude, are you guys getting this like me? Like, I'm getting like, yeah, okay. Like, this is like some serious shit, man. Like, this is like, yeah. You know, when I was a kid, I believed in all this and everybody thought it was fucking crazy. And I was like, dude, I'm telling you, I'm like, there's something. I mean, either we're all drinking the fucking Kool-Aid, you know what I mean? Or we're just all like going, like, how have we been like in the dark for all this time? That's why they call it the Dark Ages. I'm just saying. So whale medicine teaches us to use the sounds and frequencies that balance our emotional bodies and heal our physical forms. To recall why the shaman's drum brings healing and peace is to align with whale's message. The drum is the universal heartbeat and aligns all beings heart to heart. Before the advent of speech and the primordial language, hand signs were used, and many tribes were silent most of the time. The language that was understood was the sounds of great spirits, other creatures, the animals. If you pulled the whale card, you are being asked to tap into these records and to allow yourself to be sung to by those who have the original language. We're the only creatures who do not have our own unique cry or call. Find yours. Allow your voice to use this sound to release tension or emotion. Whale signals a time of finding your origins, of seeing your overall destiny as coded in your DNA, and of finding the sounds that will release those records. You may never be the same again. After all, you're the melody of the universe, and the harmony is the song of the other creatures. And using your voice to open your memory, you are expressing your uniqueness and your personal sound. As you open to this uniqueness, the animals that are your 9 totems may then send their sounds or calls to you or through you. This will open your personal records so that you may further explore your soul's history and commune with Whale, who carries the history of us all. What? The actual fuck. So I always read the contrary because I believe that they both have a purpose. It says, if Whale has beached itself in your cards, the contrary medicine implies that you are not following your sonar or homing device. On some level, you have forgotten that you hold all the answers you need to survive, to grow, and to claim the power of your chosen destiny. It may be that you are having to deal with a lot of chatter in your head and cannot get to your personal records. If so, you may need to use other sounds to enter the silence. The drum or rattle, the Indian flute, or the sounds of nature may help. The call of Whale is the lullaby of the tides. Rock yourself gently and float into the world of the sea. Flow with the waters of time and collect your answers. They are the only truth that will lead to your personal pathway of knowing. Contrary Whale is saying that you must desire to know. You must seek the whale song within you. In hearing Whale's call, you will connect to the ancients on a cellular level, and then as you relax into the flow of the song's rhythm, you will begin to open your unique library of records, yours. It may not come all at once. It may take practice, but if you hold the desire to know close to your heart, it will be Whale's gift to you. Look to the great star nation and send gratitude to Sirius for the song of Whale. What? Wow. I feel like this may be one of the most profound readings I've done in a really long time, and I feel like it's because even though I may have read this how many times, it is hitting so differently right now, because this is like it's like our call. It's like we're all being called for all, different reasons and purposes. And let me tell you, this is interesting because I was like, I don't think we're ever going to get to all these cards. So let me ask Spirit something. Okay, so because I pulled so many and I know how much time we have, I was like, do you want me to pull any of these besides that one? I didn't think so. So we're going to pull this card. We're going to talk about this card. And then I don't know if they're going to have me do a pick a reading with this, or if these are going to be shorts, or I'm not quite sure what they're going to be for. So I guess stay tuned, subscribe. I'm back on. I don't know for how long or what's going to happen, but I definitely am feeling like this is my, like, I had to go through so much and release and let go of so much. And I still have so much more to purge and release and let go of, so much still. I feel like this spring is really going to just change everything for me, for my family. Sorry. I'm like, we've been having like these little issues with like, ants, little biters. Anyway, I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted. So you may want to work with the ant spirit medicine too, because that's been around a lot. And termites. I've been getting, we're not sure if we've got termites or ants. We're not sure what's going on, but there's something going on. We started pulling out this one area, so we'll see what happens. But even when that stuff happens, like, you can get upset about it, but there's a reason for it. You know what I mean? It's like, it's like knock, 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 and the tap, tap, tap. It's like, they're like trying to tell us something. They're trying to talk to us. Spirit's trying to talk to us through all different modalities. So with that being said, be mindful, they're saying, of what you do take in terms of watching readings, especially picker readings. If you're watching a picker reading with somebody who has 800,000 subscribers, okay, probably about 1 million people probably look at their page at any given time, right? And there's 3 readings, maybe 4. I'm not saying you don't have messages in there, right? I'm not saying that. Of course you can. But, you know, it's not always going to be your medicine. You may watch a 30-minute reading and there's 30 seconds in there for you. So don't make somebody else's story your story. That's why I keep pushing, and Spirit is imploring me to push on this channel, you know, and Lula's life too, you know, of going inward. This is your show. That's what they're saying. You know, it's for you to lock into to the records, for you to tap into the Akashic records. And if you're not sure what those are, please research it. AKASHIC, Akashic. Am I saying that right? The Akashic records, they're very, very important. I remember one time I did a reading for somebody. I was like, wow, it was such an honor to read for them. They were like, seriously, like they were like a head librarian in the Akashic records. Like, you know, like how I'm like an old medicine woman witch, like, I don't know, whatever, you know what I mean? It's like, through many lifetimes, that's what I was feeling for them too. I was like, man, I'm like, they're like, yeah, I'm obsessed with numbers. I'm obsessed with organization and blah, blah, blah. And like times, and I could tell people like the year. And I was like, that makes a lot of sense, you know? So, you know, we all have a purpose. We all have a reason. And, you know, and also don't be jealous that somebody has something that you don't, because it's just silly. It's just so silly. It reminds me of this one thing from Taylor Tomlinson. She's like, you're so silly. You silly Billy, right? It is silly when you think about it, because it's like, why are you coveting something that's not yours? Like, if you were meant to do it, then you would. Like, you know, it's like, you may love to go horseback riding, but that doesn't mean you're supposed to own a horse, you know, because it takes a lot of energy and effort to own a horse. Horses are not cheap to keep up with, especially if you're in like 4 seasons in the winter where they have to be taken care of, and you know, they have to have blankets, and you have to make sure that they have hay because the ground is frozen, you know what I mean? There's like all these things, right? So it's not like, oh, I'm just gonna buy a horse and keep it in a pasture or cute, like it's a piece of art, right? You know, it's like, no, it's like, it's a living, breathing, beautiful, intelligent entity. You know, that it's, so you know what I'm saying about that? You know where I'm going with that? So with that being said, I feel like they're really pushing us to go inward and find out, like, you know, what drives your passion. Okay, so here is our card for today, and I don't know what the other ones will be for, but like I said, stay tuned. So these are really fun, these Mind Body Makeover cards, because they're really about the ego, and they have on one side is like what our brain, the chatter, right, that they were talking about, like the monkey chatter in our brains that are telling us things that aren't true, living in the past, living in the future instead of being in the fucking present. And that's hard to do, I know, but you know what? I've been feeling more free. The more I let go of the past and the future, the more free I feel. I'm just like, cool, man, like whatever, and just like seeing what happens. But I feel it too. I get those moments of anxious where I'm like 7:44. I know that it's 27:44, but I saw 7:44, another angel number for us to work with. It could be numerology too. It could be adding them together. It could be a life path number for you. It could mean a lot of different things. But, you know, all of these things that are coming together, they're trying to explain it to us and show us that it's like everything's actually falling together. It seems like things are falling apart, but things are actually falling together. You know, it's like when a boat, right? When a boat starts to go over and stuff, you know, there's this thing where a boat can roll. But if it rolls back up, you're okay. It's going to suck, but it's like, you know, but if it's here, it's like there's only so much pressure before the oxygen is going to, you know, it's either going to flip it up or it's going to sink it back down. And I don't know why they gave me that boat analogy, but I kind of feel like that's where a lot of people are feeling right now, is they're not really sure. I just watched Poseidon, it's on YouTube, free movies right now. And man, it just made me look at things in such an interesting way. If you've never seen it, it's supposed to be, I think it's based on, or I think it's like a remake from like a 70s movie about a cruise ship that has an accident from a tidal wave that they don't see coming. It's actually really interesting. It was a nail biter. if I remember, or Spirit calls me to, I'll put a link below. Anyway, I'm rambling. I only got a few minutes, but so we've got the one side, which is what we are telling ourselves, and we have the other side, which is like what's really happening. So the monkey brain, the chatter, is saying, when I love someone, I need them to make me feel better about myself. What? But the other side of that is, my self-esteem and self-love are the same whether I am in a relationship or not. So I don't know who that was for. That's healthy love number 3. I don't know who that was for. I don't know if that was for all of us, but, you know, because it's also about what we were talking about earlier, about being where you're supposed to be when you're supposed to be there, but not being somewhere that, you know, because you're not brave enough to, I know that sounds, sorry, I didn't mean to sound like a dick, but that's really what it boils down to, is that you don't feel brave enough, or you don't trust spirit enough to say, okay, this is, you're right, this isn't healthy for me, I shouldn't be here right now, you know what I mean, like, and to walk away and say, this isn't working, you know, because, but that old saying is so true, if nothing ever changes, nothing ever changes. Every so often they have me read out of the book, and they're having me do that today, so hold on, I'll be right back. Okay, hold on. It's my fancy setup here. Okay, so the unhealthy thought, when I love someone, I need them to make me feel better about myself. And the healthy thought, my self-esteem and self-love are the same whether I'm in a relationship or not. It's also on page 37, which is interesting because of that angel number we just had. Okay, some of us use relationships to elevate our self-esteem. For example, back when I was a camp counselor, I noticed that the kids who were the coolest, in quotes, were the ones who had a boyfriend or girlfriend to sit with on the bus. If we need someone to be our self-esteem, our quote-unquote hamburger helper, we're in trouble. True self-love can't rely on another's love and approval. Ultimately, healthy love always begins with unconditional love for ourselves. Wow. So that's basically what I feel like this card is boiling down to, is that, you know, Spirit's saying it's time for us to, once we unconditionally love ourselves, it is so much easier to have unconditional love for others, right? Like if we're like, hey, I love myself, I'm going to give myself a break, you know, I've been trying really hard at this, or I've been working really hard at this, and giving yourself the accolades, that's your approval of yourself is the only thing that matters in this story, because it's your story. We've been talking about this a lot, right? It's your story. And 3153. And if anyone is trying to make you feel guilty about taking care of yourself because you're not meeting their needs, look at that for a second. You know, recently I worked with someone that was really struggling because they were working on this project with a friend of theirs, and they didn't want to disappoint them, and they didn't want to let them down. And I was, you know, hearing their story, and I said, yeah, but you're not happy. You know, you may go into something with really great intentions, but if you get into it and it doesn't work, you're allowed to say, this isn't working for me. You're allowed to say, hey, you know what? No, that doesn't work for me now. That worked for me before, but it doesn't. Sorry, it's like the light's just hitting my eyes in a weird, I have very light eyes, and sometimes it hurts. You know, you're allowed to say, hey, you know what? No. I know that's what I said. I know that's what we agreed on, but it's not working for me anymore. It's just that simple. And I know that some people, when I looked down, I was 33. I think that came in our last reading too. And I've been seeing a lot of that lately. 11:22, 11:33, 44, 45, 44, 55. Throat chakra, right? Because that's speaking your truth, and that's saying to your, now, if this is somebody who cares about you, genuinely cares about you, then they'll be like, oh, well, okay, then you know what? Yeah, of course I'm disappointed, but you know, if you're not well, then that's not healthy, and I don't want to do that. But if somebody's like, oh, can you just finish it? I mean, you started it, you know, you need to finish that. And it's like my friend was, you know, telling me this, and I just thought, this is not cool. I'm like, but what about you? I'm like, if they were your true friend, they would say, stop immediately, stop hurting yourself, you know? And as empaths, sometimes we feel shame, you know, because we're so sensitive to things. We try to toughen up. I mean, I've been trying to toughen up for 52 years. And I remember one of my medicine workers, you know, said to me, how's that working for you? You know, even back then. And I was like, it's not. And they're like, yeah, you're just wired differently. You know, you can work harder and you can focus, you know, more on getting grounded and doing your, you know, your meditations and all that kind of stuff. They're like, absolutely, to make it easier for yourself. But they're like, but you will never be able to change your molecular soul structure of like what you are, like as an empath. Like that's what you're brought here to do, you know, is to have that empathy for others, to be able to have those experiences so that you can share them with other people. And, you know, so don't neglect yourself or your needs just for another person. That's not the way it's supposed to be. You know, we've just had a lot of really unhealthy lessons in programming, whatever words and terminology you want to use, but we've been going through this a very long time. And, you know, many, many, many generations beyond, you know, just for so thousands of years. And now we're coming back in, and it's like now we're the boat that's kind of tipping back up, you know what I mean? And so I'm kind of getting that analogy from Spirit, that, you know, we are going to be okay. But, you know, there may be something like that that happens. And most people are going to panic because they're going to be like, I don't want to die. I don't want to die. You know, I've been having a lot of interesting moments about that lately because I've had so many things with death over my life, longing for it, running from it, fearing it, accepting it, loving it, then going through that again because I'm like, oh, I really love life. Now I don't want to die, you know. But, and having like visions of things that I don't know if it was past life, future life, this life, I don't know, of like my death and like interesting things where I'm like, oh, that's interesting, you know. But seeing myself where I'm like really at peace with it when it happens, and knowing that this is just a temporary, such a small blip on the radar. And I could tell you from my own personal experience at 52 years, man, that shit goes by fast. It really does go by so fast. And, you know, you can't tell a young person, you know, I was there, I had the same elders telling me the same fucking things, right? Like, you know, it goes by like that, but it really does. And especially now it moves by faster than ever before. So the sound therapy, work with sound therapy for sure. It's a sound therapy. It's really good. You know, whatever you need. There's a, like they spoke about in the book, I swear we live so close to Canada. I'm like basically on the border. I mean, I am. The only thing that's separating me and Canada is water. But that, and we've been watching a lot of Canadian programs, and I'm like, dude, once we got the Hallmark Channel, it was all over. Anyway, it's like between that and my Chicago accent and living in LA for a long time, I don't know. It's just pretty funny. I've lived a lot of different places. My family's from this, part of my family's from the South, you know. I even lived in Kansas for a while, although I don't think Kansas really had an accent. Anyway, with that being said, I hope these messages helped you in any way. I know they really helped me, and sometimes I like to go back and watch them. Sometimes I don't, but sometimes I like to go back and watch them. But anyway, healthy love, number 3. Number 3. So also work with the number 3. Love thyself first, and everything else will fall into place. Do you have any more messages, Spirit? Do we have any? Oh, and thank you to those of you who comment and watch the shorts. Thank you so much. And for helping to educate those. I don't, you know, I see comments, but I just, sometimes I just feel this, I need to just leave it alone. And other times I feel the need, and I'll go in and I'll comment to like 30 things in like one day. Yeah, it's a little overwhelming. So there's a lot going on, and there's always a lot going on, isn't there? Anyway, I feel like I'm rambling now. Was there anything else? No, that's it. Okay, short and sweet. Well, not short and sweet, but like, I think we're going shorter than before. But yeah, so look out for these. I don't know what this is going to be about. Is there any last minute thing you want to say in here? So, oh, this one, I feel like this one's coming up. Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. Oh, one last minute thing. Oh, I love when we do last minute things. Okay, so this one is healthy goals number 7. Nothing from the book. But the unhealthy thought is, I don't know what my true life calling is. What? Come on. And the healthy thought is, through contemplation, introspection, and completion, I can find out what my next step and true calling is. By attending to details and organizing my life, my vocation will become clear. What did we just say? Organizing our life, getting rid of things we don't need. Yes. And for the Northern Hemisphere people, we are in the spring. Like, this is it. Clear the clutter, man. Seriously, this is such a great reminder. This was such a great episode. Thank you, Spirit. Do we want any more? Nope, that's it. Yeah, I feel like these are for something, but I don't know what. Anyway, oh, it's so perfect. I mean, healthy goals number 7. Also, what did I just say when I started this about the 777? And because of the 777, we have to do something. We have to look up angel number 777. So look it up on your own. And the other angel numbers, are there any other messages, Spirit? Oh, also, I invoke the power of healing energy. Reiki and otherwise from the universe into my mind, body, and soul. And I ask that you do the same. All you have to say is, I accept this healing energy. And I'm just going to let this go until it goes out. That's what we're doing. Okay. So I'm sending you healing energy, and all you have to say is, I accept this divine healing energy with grace and gratitude. We accept this healing energy, Spirit, with grace and gratitude. Thank you, Spirit. We had a beautiful time. Thank you all for being here today. Yes, thank you for the subscriptions, the contributions, the support, and the love. We love you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And until next time, take really good care of yourselves and each other. Ooh, I can really feel that. Can you? Thank you, Spirit. Ooh, can you guys hear the frogs and the crickets and stuff outside? Thank you to thank you to the divine masculine and the divine feminine. Thank you, Spirit. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. I'm feeling that energy. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Take us out. I guess that's all there is. Until next time.